Oh, what up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this edition of Mamba podcast. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jackson, and yeah, in case you've been living under a rock, a lot of NBA news. Not just in the last couple of days, but today in particular. In a day that started off with more Paul George to the Cavs, and Jimmy Butler to the Cavs, and Jimmy Butler with LeBron, and all the stuff about how the Knicks somehow might trade Porzingis. The biggest story coming out of today, again, for those of you who have been living under a rock, the Lakers of Los Angeles have traded D'Angelo Russell and Timofey Mozgov to the Brooklyn Nets for Brook Lopez and Thursday night's 27th pick. I had time on the way home to process it. Coming home from work today, I sat in a lot of traffic on the 405. I was able to. I don't recommend it recklessly because of the bumper to bumper traffic. I was able to recklessly just be nonstop on Twitter, refreshing everything. I guess maybe the first official Woj bomb, if I'm not mistaken, of the summer or of the NBA offseason. And also big up NBA for finding out a way to become a year-round sport. I initially wanted to come on and just like let it all out, but I just felt that would have been not the best quality, because I would have been super heated. I was super hot. For those of you who've been following the pod, and if you have, thanks. You guys know how much of a D'Angelo Russell fan I am. I thought that last year he didn't. I expected him to play a lot better than he did. Not saying that he didn't play well. I don't have. This is kind of a really last second put together pod. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but you can go on Twitter. You can check out Synergy. You can check out Basketball Reference. All that stuff. Just look at his stats from this year. They're not as bad as you think, and everyone's saying that he's a bust and he's a this, he's a that. But like I said, his numbers don't lie, and neither do buckets. But yeah, he's definitely not, been as bad as people think, or as half of NBA or half of Laker Twitter will have you believing, or Laker Twitter and Laker Reddit. Also, big up NBA Twitter, big up NBA Reddit, all my NBA Twitter Reddit fam. It's like I said, it's crazy. I'm at a loss for words. The draft hasn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? Think about that. The finals ended last week. The draft is in 2 days, yeah, man, just so much craziness going on. But I mainly wanted to talk about the trade that happened. Being a Laker fan, as you can see, for those of you who are listening on SoundCloud or iTunes, I pointed to the Laker banner that's over my shoulder behind me. And I've wanted to talk about a lot of the other stuff that's been going on, but I mean, at this point, a lot of it is just hearsay. A lot of stuff, some of the right people are saying the right things, like about, if LeBron's going to come to the Lakers, which I'll get to later. If what Gordon Hayward's going to do, is Anthony Davis going to move, is will the Banana Boat join forces somewhere, and a lot of the stuff is hearsay, and even the other things, like I really wanted to speak on the Jerry West to the Clippers thing, but I thought I'd save it for another time. There's some other stuff I want to look up before I talk about that. But this Lakers move is a lot of people are mad, and initially, a lot of people had the right to be mad. The Lakers spent the number 2 overall pick on D'Angelo Russell a couple seasons ago. Came out hot, you know, saw some progression. Didn't progress like I said earlier to the extent that people wanted him to, but he still got better. He's only 21, so all you guys out there who are trying to slander him and libel him on Twitter, saying he's immature, the whole Snapchat thing a while ago with Nick Young, and this and that. Just for a second, just I sorry, that you were such a friggin' perfect, mature, had your entire act together when you were 21. I'm sorry, we all couldn't be like you guys, but he he deserved some of the stuff he deserved some of the crap he got. I'll admit that. Some people said he was a little, kind of, I guess, heady. That kind of sounds kind of sus. So pause. I'm gonna pause proactively on that one. But he had some people said he had like an attitude. Some people said he was, kind of cocky. Whatever. Whatever. It's just those are just babies complaining on Twitter. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the media loved D'Lo. The players loved D'Lo. Maybe Byron didn't, but I mean Byron's a dinosaur. You know what I mean? So, take that with a grain of salt. A lot of you might think or say that, and I might be, who knows, about that I'm biased towards D'Lo just because of my affection for him. Like I said, if you've been tuning into the podcast, you know how much of a fan of him I was. But it's not just a fan of him, but I'm a fan of the player he had the potential to be. You could see how talented he is. And I said he's still super young. He's a super talented scorer who just happens to be able to pass really well and who has great court vision. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. To me, and I can't remember where I saw it or heard this from first, was that he's like a B version of James Harden, where James Harden is a terrific scorer who just happens to be able to pass really well. And like I said, D'Lo has the same potential to maybe not be that good as James Harden, second pick for MVP, but he definitely has the potential to be a devastating playmaker. You know what I mean? Whether it's scoring whether having the ball in his hands or without it. And I was just really, really, really optimistic as to how D'Lo would look with Lonzo. It's almost it's a shoo-in now that the Lakers are going to take Lonzo. Yeah, I mean, I was just super, super, super stoked to see what that would look like. I mean, now we'll never know. I wish the best of luck to D'Lo out in Brooklyn. He had the infamous ice in my veins game against Brooklyn. So pretty poetic. Is poetic the right term, or ironic? No, ironic doesn't seem right. I think poetic sounds better. But man, I'm hurt. A lot of Laker fans are hurt. And a lot of them are saying good riddance. Like I said, he was definitely one of the more polarizing players the Lakers have ever had. As far as love hate, but like I said, from myself, I'll definitely miss him. And like I said, best of luck to him. But moving on to the other parts of the deal, it seems like the main reason for this was to get rid of Mozgov's horrible, horrible, horrible contract. One of the two big lumps of coal that Mitch Kupchak left behind for the Lakers, Luol Deng being the next. And, I mean, they, as soon as it happened, I might have said something on the podcast. I don't remember, but I mean, I was pissed. That was the first free agent signing at the end of the start off free agency last offseason, and he's the first player to be traded with that same deal. So I mean, again, how I guess this one is a little bit better to say how ironic, but that it looked like that was the main plan, was getting rid of Mozgov, and I wrote it down here. I believe in doing this they save $54 million. $54 million for a guy who didn't even play in the last part of the season. And unfortunately, D'Angelo Russell was, I guess the cherry on top that had to be thrown in there to get this deal done. And the Lakers were getting Brook Lopez in return, and I've always been a fan of Brook Lopez. I really am. I mean, as much as tired as I am of the Lakers having these old, slow, traditional quote unquote big guys, Brook Lopez out of all those types is, I guess, my favorite, or the one that's best suited for the quote unquote new style of basketball. If I'm gonna look it up right now, but I saw somewhere that and I thought it was a joke, but it turns out it's not, and I want to just look that up right now to confirm that Brook Lopez has the best shooting percentage now on the Lakers. Now think about that. That is a center. Now that's a good thing. I mean, you can look at it in two ways. You can look at that as that's a good thing, and hey, the Lakers are getting, that's what you want in this, a big man nowadays. You want a big man who can shoot, not just, mid-range, but also 3-point. That's what you want, right? However, at the other end, is that really a good thing for the team if an incoming center is now the best shooter on the team? So I got it up here right now. I'm using Basketball Reference. Again, big up the guys over Basketball Reference. I'm pulling it up. 2017. Okay. Let's see. Field goal percentage. Okay. Maybe it's 3-point percentage then? Oh, no. Oh, he is now, yeah. I guess so. So he shot 346 last season from 3 with a true shooting percentage or an effective field goal percentage, which is essentially true shooting percentage, of 53%. And as a team, I guess the best one last year was Nick Young at 40% from 3. Tyler Ennis, he didn't get a whole lot of shots up. And then Lou Williams at 38%. D'Lo gone. Clarkson's the next one, who might be gone now too. Spoiler alert. Clarkson, I guess, is the only one left on the team that shoots threes. 329. And again, Lopez was 346. And he had a true shooting percentage of, 350, 531. And the best one was Larry Nance. And like I said, this is another guy that just doesn't take a whole lot of shots. And again, the next closest is Clarkson, takes, I guess, an equivalent amount of shots at 500. That's for all you stat nerds out there. But, yeah, that's, like I said, you can look at it in two ways. I'm choosing to look at it on the optimistic side, considering that I'm a Laker fan. But, yeah, I mean, another thing that just kind of, it really, really upset me at the time is that, we're getting the 27th pick out of it, which is essentially a second round pick. I mean, so this draft, just like every other draft, It's supposed to be, the best draft since '03 with LeBron and Wade and Bosh, and or '99 with Kobe and Nash, and all those guys and stuff. And sure, every draft's like that, but this one really has the potential to be that, as far as at the top, the tip top, the cream of the crop of this year's draft. Potentially has the most future All Stars, or at least future superstars. So, and admittedly, I'm not a big college hoops fan. But like I said, I know that that's true up top. As far as the rest of it goes, I'm not sure. I don't know how the rest of this year's incoming draft class is gonna look. And if you do, help me out. Let me know. But Brook Lopez is essentially a rental this year. I strongly do not believe he's in the future plans for the Lakers. I think that similarly to how D'Lo was thrown in there just as the cherry on top for the ultimate goal of getting rid of Mozgov's contract, Lopez was kind of just, the Nets were willing to part with him because he's an expiring contract. He's off their books. The Lakers, he's just essentially a rental, a 1-year rental. And they really just wanted this pick for whatever reason. Well, not for whatever reason. I guess I'll start working that into transition. But, like I said, I'll have to wait and see. I think Lopez's 3-point shooting and perimeter shooting altogether will help better spacing for the team. And I just hope that, I hope it works out this year. I really do. I really do. Because, this year essentially is going to be, I guess, just another rebuilding year, which is not going to be fun. But this is not the year that the Lakers are planning for, unless they can pull off this deal that I believe. I want to get it right. Who was the one that tweeted it first? I'll get to it. But after all this went down, a lot more chirping was going on about the Paul George to LA news. And again, if you don't know, you've been living under a rock. Paul George, leaked it to supposedly leaked it out that, after this season, after the season with the Pacers, he's leaving and he's going to LA or to the Lakers as a free agent. So, God, I hate this new Twitter function. Hang on. Okay. After this, he wants to go to the Lakers, and it's like there's nothing that the Pacers or anyone else can do about it. So, essentially, there's been a bunch of talks that the Lakers and the Pacers the Pacers just said, fuck it, might as well just work on a deal. So let's see, where did it go? I swear I saw it. Who's the guy that said I'm hearing? Oh, I thought I retweeted it. Maybe I just screenshot it. Sorry out there, all listeners. If this sounds super boring. Well, can't find it right now. Maybe it got deleted. I don't know. But, now the talk is the Lakers are going to use their I think their second round pick or their late first round pick, their own late first round pick, at number 28, with this newly acquired 27th pick, along with, either Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, or both, who knows, but some combination like that is going to be used to get Paul George from the Pacers. Now, if I were the Pacers, if it's either Clarkson or Randle, I don't know, but if it's both of them, I take it. If I'm the Pacers, just considering it's like, if it's true that Paul George is leaving, might as well get something for him and not lose out like the Lakers did with Dwight Howard. So there's that. That was being floated around the basketball, ether. That's been floated around. But then there's always the potential that they could use these guys and trade them for something else, or Paul George just nothing happens, and Paul George comes next season. Him being Paul George and another guy you might have heard of by the name of LeBron James. Now again, it's all just hearsay so far. I don't really even know where this rumor started. I know guys like Zach Lowe have been talking about it a little bit. But I mean, if LeBron comes to LA, and like I said, I'm not getting my hopes up for that, just because, like I said, it's just whatever. At this point, it's all just hearsay. But if that's the ultimate plan, then it better work, because the Lakers, it seems like Magic is trying to use the Laker lore and the Magic Johnson name lore to attract all these free agents. And it might work. I don't know. They tried it before in the last few seasons, but, it didn't work. But then again, the last few seasons we haven't had with Magic Johnson. And that's a big, big, big influence. But yeah, I mean, the Lakers did, by getting rid of that contract, and if they can get rid of, some other players and stuff like that, they can clear up to about $64 million next not this coming, not right now, but for next offseason. And that's good enough for 2 max contracts. Like I said, it's all hearsay. It's all, reading between the lines, reading the tea leaves, reading all the little, if you want to come up with any other metaphor, idiom, whatever thing you want for that. It's all speculation at this point. But, the writing's on the wall on a lot of stuff. It's very faint and very, very little. But, the NBA conspiracy theorists out there are definitely hard at work. Big up the biggest of them all, Wob, Worldwide Wob. And if you haven't, check out his Operation Banana Boat. It's hilarious, and it could be true. Some of the pieces are falling into place. So check that out. I mean, I just hope. I know the Lakers have a plan. It seems this whole thing seems so like out of nowhere, like out of left field. I know, and like I said, I initially wanted to come on record and just be, hair on fire, just, I can't believe, but that was what I did on Twitter. And so I figured I don't want to just double down on, or just, pretty much just spew my Twitter, on this, in the mic. I tried to, take a step back and really think about it. And, obviously this is part of a bigger plan. And then a lot of the theory is that the plan is to lure big free agents. They're clearing up cap space to lure big free agents. They're going to take Lonzo, which, I'm happy about. I feel like I said, if you've been following the podcast, you know how much I love Lonzo. Pause. And hopefully, and they're going to want to, and Magic, he meant it when he said it, that Brandon Ingram's the only untouchable on this team. He definitely meant it. Whether it happens now, draft night, in between, after, who knows. Paul George might be on the Lakers, and Jordan Clarkson or Randall might not be. And who knows, whoever else might not be on this team. Who knows? But, obviously, Magic wants the future of this team to be built around Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, a combination of some bench guys, and at least one huge free agent, possibly 2. I don't know how it's going to get done. I don't know who those free agents are. I already laid it. I think it obviously, or not obviously, but it seems like the 2 big choices are LeBron and Paul George. But, there's a lot of big names out there, some that make sense, some that don't. I kind of wanted to go over all the free agents, but there's so many, and that'd just be boring. So I leave it to you. You can go check it out. ESPN actually has a really good free agent section on their website because it gives you this offseason's free agents and next season's. So I suggest you check that one out. Just so you can just get going on that trade machine or free agent machine or whatever you want to do. But ultimately, I said all I said to say this, that I trust Magic in what he's doing. I mean, I trust Magic. Everything he's done, honestly, in his entire life has been a success. And I hope that this isn't any different. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with him having to include D'Lo in the trade, but I mean, like, I get it. At the end of the day, it's still a business, and that was apparently the best deal on the table, and he had to take it. We'll have to wait and see. That's the main thing. We're just gonna have to wait and see. It all comes back to wrestling, but I mean, I say this so much, about when I talk about wrestling, where I really want to trust. I sometimes I just don't understand what happens in some of the WWE storylines, but I mean, I just have to trust them. I have to. As a fan, I have to trust that they know what they're doing and they're going to do the right thing. And as a Laker fan, it's a new. I hate to say this, but it's a new era for the Lakers, with Magic in charge. And I have to, and all the Laker fans have to trust him, whether we like it or not. You have to trust him, and you have to give it time. Rome wasn't built in a day. The Lakers didn't just become success stories overnight. It takes time. For every three-peat, whether it was, Showtime in the 80s, Shaq and Kobe in the 92,000s, and Kobe and Powell, and for every, successful times, there's just as right before it, there's just Kareem and a bunch of guys who can't score around him. There's, not saying it was a bad team, but they didn't win a lot with Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel, and those guys. That era of the early '90s Lakers. Then there's the Smush Parker, Lakers. Smush Parker, Chris Mim, there's the Smush Parker, Chris Mim. There's the then there's the Chris then there's the Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, that era Lakers. It happens. There's gonna be these down. This is that moment right now. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the most upside we've seen in a while. So we have to trust him. We got to trust him. And, that's all I needed to say today, or that's all I wanted to say today. Just had to get that off my chest. I had enough time to mull it over on the way home from work. And definitely having one of these bad boys definitely helped cool me down. And so, yeah, that was what I thought about the whole trade. But I want to know what you thought about the trade. Let me know in the comments down below. And like always, if you like what you're going to like, share, subscribe, or comment. And you can also let me know whether you agree or not on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere else. Just follow me at all my ats down below. And you can just find all my other content at brownmamba.us. I thought I was gonna take it's a new era. I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is. And we just got to be patient. The draft is in 2 days. Excited for that now. And if you weren't excited for the draft before, boy, I tell you, if you're not excited now, then I don't know. Maybe you're not a basketball fan altogether, or you're just not a fan of drama at all. I don't know. But I'll definitely be checking in with you guys again after the draft. Looks to be a doozy. Whatever happens, happens. I'll be trying to. Maybe I'll do something live. I don't know. I got some. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in. However you're tuning, thanks for watching. However you're watching, if you're listening, however you're listening. Always appreciate you guys stopping by, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace, and good luck, D-Lo, wherever you are, in all your future endeavors.